Hi there. This is John Anthony Francis Wilcox, and today is Saturday, the 13th of April, 2024. I hope you're all doing well. Much to talk about. So, I want to say first off, I just started a new thing that I'm not sending to my list of people, which is readings from the Catholic Bible. And today I read Psalm 43. Um, a lot of you aren't Catholic, and I felt it would be out of place for me to impose it on you through my list. So if you would like to see it, just go to my page and it's there, my YouTube page, I should say. So, what shall we start with? I was very sad to find out that my friend Trina Robbins died. She was 85. Now, for those of you who do not know, who was Trina Robbins, John? Trina was, well, for me, she was that friend that her voice sounded a lot like Glinda the Good Witch. She really had that kind of a voice. And she was always charming. She was always sweet. She was always polite. She was such a good person. I think that's the most important thing I can tell you about her. Now, beyond that, Trina was one of the pioneers of underground comics and is very well known as a pioneer in women's comics for creating an awareness and pushing people forward. Um, Her influence cannot be underestimated. She was a contemporary of Robert Crumb. They did some stuff in the same underground stuff, just so you know, for context. Um, she had a wonderful decorative style to her artwork. Um, I know some people that didn't like it because it didn't feel like, say, superhero art, but it was never meant to. It was meant to be decorative, and she had a wonderful design sense, and I loved her line. Very thick, very unmistakable. When you see a Trina drawing, you know it's a Trina drawing without seeing her signature, which says a lot about an artist that their work is so distinctive. So she passed on, I believe it was Tuesday or Wednesday, whichever day. Quite a loss. I have nothing but wonderful memories of her. I will miss her presence on this planet, but she lived a long and fascinating life, so I take some solace in that. Um, if you ever met Trina, you know what I'm saying. Um, so I look at it and I go, I was privileged that in my days I got to know her as you know, we weren't like buddies, but we were good acquaintances. We had some very nice talks and fascinating. And I'll have to dig out sometime. She did me a lovely drawing years ago in like the late 80s, early 90s. I'll have to, when I find it, I'll photograph and I'll share it with everyone. So that's one thing. The other thing for me, a big thing is I was talking last night to my friend Mark out west, and we were talking about when we were writing Underdog together and how we had done a book for Blackthorn Comics called Underdog in 3D. And it was one of those cases where we weren't ripped off. We didn't get paid, but we went into it hearing from an editor there saying, I saw you guys work on the Underdog stuff that we got ripped off by. Well, at least I got ripped off. Mark eventually got paid. He's one of the only people that the people at the crooks at Spotlight Comics eventually paid. Uh, but the guy said, we would love to do an Underdog in 3D book, but we really can't. We don't have it in our budget to pay anyone. And we said, we don't care. It's fun to write Underdog. So we did. And one of the stories we wrote had a hedgehog in it that I thought it would be clever to name it after the giant hedgehog in Monty Python, Spiny Norman. So Spiny Norman makes an appearance in this circus story, and there's two references I put in one to the Flying Lombardis, a high wire act that I named after I knew two sisters, Regina and Leanna Lombardi, both gorgeous women, and we worked together at marketing and research counselors in the second half of the mid 80s, around 85 into 86, I believe it was, or 86 into 87, something like that. But so I put them in, and also I put in my friend Lana Gentry, as they announced Lana the Ecdysiast. And if you know what that means, woohoo! I mean, it means it's a stripper. And Shoeshine Boy, the alter ego of Underdog, sticks his head under the tent and then comes out blushing and beside himself. And that was a little nod to Lana, who I have not been able to get in touch with for several years. So I was telling this to Mark, and he said, Lana Gentry, I think I follow her on Facebook. And sure enough, it was the same Lana Gentry. And so I said, oh, if you do me a favor and tell her I'm looking for her and give her my phone number. And so this morning when I went online, there was an email from Mark and a screen capture of his conversation. He put the message to Lana, and then she mentioned, oh, you know, I love John, and I feel sad that I have fallen out of touch with him, but I will surely call him in the next couple of days. And I'm sure she will. And that just makes me so happy. A quick Lana story, so you know. I met Lana through her best friend at the time, a woman named Hope, who I had met on October the 19th, 1984, I believe it was, and in New York City. And then I went back to visit Hope, and we went back to her place, and who was there but Lana, who immediately makes an unforgettable appearance. There's some people that you just are immediately compelled by their presence, and Lana has always been one of those. And we clicked immediately as friends. Real sweetheart of a person. And one of the things I was so happy to see when I knew Lana first, she was more of a singer, and she had a beautiful singing voice. And she did like funny little cartoons and that. But as the years have gone on, she has become an internationally published fine artist. And you can look her up online. She's all over the place, her artwork. And she is fantastic, fantastic artist. Very unusual, truly unique stuff. Can you qualify unique? Unique is unique. And that's Lana. Lana is a one of a kind, and I love her with all my heart. So getting back in touch after several years, not, you know, it's not that there was no deliberate reason for not talking. It's just, I think what happened is when Lana made more of a name for herself, she probably went to like an unlisted number or whatever. She sort of went underground, which is understandable. So I am so looking forward to hearing from Lana. And it just does my heart good just to know that. So there's that. Meanwhile, what else? I had an article I needed to have up by the end of the week, and I put that up Thursday evening. Came out very much to my pleasing me. Sorry for the awkward sentence. It came out great. So I say humbly. But it just really flowed nicely, and I felt good writing it. And so if you don't like it, you can't expect other people to like it. And so there's that, and I'm currently been typing up one of the interviews that I hand transcribed. So that's going on, and I've been seeding out, letting people know that I'm interested in interviewing them. So we'll see who I hear back from for the future. I'm trying to, you know, go along with the rest of this year, lining up interesting things that I think people will like reading. So what else? I made some succotash. I hadn't had succotash, especially creamy succotash, in years. So I made some of that. That was great. I'm not going to do anything elaborate this coming week meal-wise, at least not that I'm intending, but who knows what comes up. And there we go. I have Grace Mary coming ahead on Thursday to bring me communion. I just sent out, I'll let everyone know when we're closer to it. I just sent out a thing. They're going to be saying, the Franciscans are going to say several weeks of masses to Saint Dymphna to intercede. And she is a saint. Here's a little Catholic boy thing for you. She is a saint I pray to every night. Um, she is the saint of mental illness and things like that. That's who you pray to. And I always keep tabs of my own sanity, shall we say. So she's a very important saint to me. And not that anyone are unimportant, you know. But I think I have blathered on at this point. I am rambling. I am rambling, and I'm going to start saying like Monkey Toe Donut. That could happen. Monkey Toe Donut. Although that sounds kind of cool. I'd go see that band. Where are you going? I'll go to see Monkey Toe Donut. Cool. I have their third album. It's their best one. I love you all. Bye bye.